What are you good at, but hate doing? Math. Bridal makeup. I love doing my makeup and I even like dipping into the SX side of things. So I was a go-to for friends looking to save money on their wedding makeup for a while. I quickly learned I hated it. It is not freeing or creative for me and there's too much pressure. There are also time crunches to deal with. I won't do bridal makeup anymore. I'll keep playing with makeup in my own bedroom with no time pressure or real need for it to turn out well. That's what I enjoy. Writing. I was told by a fairly strict English professor that I should become an English professor because of my essays, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that I just sincerely despise writing. Healing in Overwatch and reaching the top shelf. Working as a programmer. I'm good at it. It's lucrative. But after 15 years I'm so tired of it. I just want to make enough money so I can do something else. Diffusing arguments. I'm often the judge and jury friend, or people come to me to ask if they're being irrational. I'm almost always the first person to apologize and come up with a compromise or solution. Of course it's good to mitigate anger and drama, but some people take advantage of the fact that I'll bounce back and fix whatever is wrong. Sometimes I feel like I'm not allowed to have emotions and break down for that moment because it will derail the good thing. It's also incredibly emotionally tiring and not enough people ask if it's okay to vent. Ask for advice before doing so. Being alone. I'm really good at just not making plans and watching a movie, watching shit on YouTube, or just casually do some shit while listening to music. It's some sort of comfort thing, but after doing it for 10 years-ish I have gotten to good, and now I often feel really lonely and sad. Socializing. Everyone thinks I'm so outgoing and friendly, but in reality, it wears me down mentally and physically to the point I start drinking alcohol just to be able to keep up the charade. It's exhausting and I hate it, but I have to fake it to make a living. Public speaking. When I was younger I used to do stuff nobody else wanted to do just for it to be over with. Started with school presentations. Same thing happened in college with group projects. Then, in a company I work for, I still am the dedicated speaker most of the time. Because it's easy for you. You speak loudly and clearly. You do it well, or so it seems. I hate it. It's goddamn exhausting. I usually need days of mental preparation. I'm an introvert, so it literally drains life out of me every single time. But nobody ever believes me, because I'm pretty outgoing and loud sometimes, so there's no way you're introverted. Stupid public speaking. Talking to people. 26 years in retail. I could win an Oscar for the amount of believable lies I tell customers. You are the face of the company. You're always supposed to be smiling, happy, and able to carry on a single-serving conversation with anyone you meet. Off the clock. And when I was single, I was very content going days without any talking or interaction. I kinda learned to be two different people. Sometimes more depending on my life at the time. I'm tired of acting. My job lol. Mediating between people who can't get along. It is so annoying and I hate it. Turns out I get stuck doing it all the time at work. Ugh. Just thinking about it is stressing me out. Cake decorating. I really do enjoy it for the most part, but people just expect me to make them. For nothing. Few people are like, oh, we'll pay for ingredients. Cheers. But what you've asked for will take me at least 2 days and I've barely met you. Random friend of family member. Actually, I think I just hate people. I'm good at music. People like my songs and I love coming up with melodies. But I hate recording them. I'm crap at performing, playing guitar, singing, whatever I'm doing. So I have to do hundreds of takes just to do the simplest thing properly, and then after finally getting it all together and trying to mix it all myself, I think, meh, sounds okay. I go away and when I come back the next day I realize that, actually, it does indeed sound shit. It never sounds how I thought it did when I last heard it. So yeah, it's an arduous, thankless task for something I'm apparently doing for fun. Fixing computers. Sad part is I do this for a living. I love everything about computers, networking, etc. But when I get a phone call from an inept user who makes triple my salary, or an older relative calls for computer help, the eye rolls ensue and the thoughts of hanging up kick in. Customer support. F me. Lying. Tolerating irrational behavior. Binging shows on Netflix and feeling sad that it all ended so quickly. Public speaking. I always get told how calm and collected I am, that I am clear and good at making it interesting, easygoing and interactive. Inside I am screaming, feel like I am going to puke, panicked, absolutely sure I have a giant stain on my shirt or booger hanging out, adrenaline rushing that makes me feel like I am going to collapse the second I am off stage. I hate it, so I get selected almost every time because you're so good at it. I would be a total mess up there. I don't know you do it. Me either, Janet. Me either. Math and procrastination. I'll tell you guys about it later. Procrastinating. I'm very good at putting things off until the last minute and wasting time. Hating myself. Sales. I've been in retail for the better part of my adult life. I'm pretty decent, can get customers to where they need to be, and just overall make sure someone is happy with their purchases. I just wish I was doing anything else. I just don't know what else I can go and do. I don't have any degrees, and need money to live, so I just keep plodding along at the safe, comfortable job. Cleaning shrimps. My wife likes them but hates cleaning them after they done, so she asks me to it every time. I am god and magician at least I think I am, because I can clean a bowl of shrimps in like a minute or two, but I hate to clean them. Making the bed. Taping and mudding drywall. Nice. It takes practice. Less is more is the best advice. Use the green first. And less is more. The heavy has more moisture and shrinks down, but it is strong. Keep it smooth as possible. The second and third coats are lightweight. Again, less is more. Also, run the knife over the first coat before the next 2 to 3 coats to knock down any boogers. Don't worry about inconsistencies with the lightweight because it sands down easily if you suck at it. If you can work the knives in order to feather the outer edges, you should be good. It's possible to finish with very minimal sanding. Sometimes a wet sponge is good enough to eliminate dust. Practice makes perfect. I still hate it. Customer service. I'm a great listener, really good with empathy versus sympathy and all that. But I hate people. Not all people. You get the good ones sometimes. But I generally hate dealing with customers. My resume is full of it though, and it becomes hard to ever get out of it. I'd rather work alone. Graphic design. Every bloody person comes out of the woodwork for invitation design. Weddings. Engagement parties. Baby showers. Birthdays. The worst part is, friends make the worst clients apostrophes because I would never charge them. I love it, but can you make it a bit more peppy? What do you mean by peppy? Susan, font, color. I don't know what you don't like if you can't tell me. Backstroke. I'm apparently fast at it, but it's still nasal destruction. Firing people. I've had to terminate people in multiple jobs, usually when I'm the new person brought in to turn things around. The last time I had to tell someone, the HR VP who was in the room as well told me, "Wow, you are really good at this. We should have you do a video training on how to let people go. By the way, if you have to fire someone aside from a really bad reason like theft etc., get them a severance. Don't fight their unemployment claim, and cover their healthcare for a few months. Not every person works out for a job, and these things make landing in their feet much easier." Blowjobs. Driving a manual transmission car. It was a blast when I was driving my Triumph Spitfire convertible when I was in my 20s. Driving my manual Subaru Forester at age 62. More of a pain in the ass than I thought it would be when I purchased it. Driving a manual in traffic is like having to remove and put back on your shoes for every step you take. Lying. I'm specially good at lying. So good that I can make myself believe it's truth in a way that it helps me maintain the lie forever. However, I hate lying, and I don't do it unless I can classify it as a white lie. Not gonna lie. Golf. every time I go out, either with amateurs or experienced golfers. I get complimented time and again that I'm good at it and should play more, but truth is, I only try to play as efficiently as possible because I find it so boring. I just want to drive the cart and maybe have a beer and just leave. This sounds like a brag, but I assure you, it is not. I don't like social outings of playing any kind of sport as I'm not a sports guy. Cooking. This is why I'm not a fan of the do what you love and you'll never work a day of your life quote. There are many enjoyable hobbies, even side gigs, that become miserable grinds when you have to make a living out of it. My job. I work in a school district, one-on-one with SPED kids. Middle schoolers to be specific. I don't know how much longer I can do this. My sanity is in danger. Video editing. I like everything about it, but man does it take a lot of time and concentration. It can get pretty tedious sometimes. Usually if I have to do tedious stuff, music helps a lot. But you can't listen to music while editing, unless you have music in video, in which case you listen to the same song for hours, most of the time listening to the same 1.7-second loops of it. I love results of editing, love finding ways to get my message across, but god damn it, it takes a lot of time to make something good.